CEO and the word, I really wanted to discuss that because I think I really struggle with titles.
Welcome to Focus Focus. Voices leading change.
Kia ora everybody. For those that don't know me, my name's Ashley, CEO of Future Focus, and I am being really brave and stepping out of the comfort zone today, podcasting solo. Ray and Courtney are out of the country, so it's my time to step in and keep the podcast rolling for Sammy and share some of my whakaaro on what we do here, what I do here, what my role is, and my journey into this. So, that's why the solo podcast. And I think what this means for Future Focus, it would be really cool to have me sit alongside some of our leaders in our kaiako moving forward, relieving that from Ray as well. Also, his voice is very powerful in this, and I'd never take that away. That's something he's really passionate about, but for us to vibe off each other and hopefully encourage more of our leaders to do this alongside their team as well. That would be really cool. So that's where we're heading. And I think, I will start with we all start somewhere. I think it's really important to share where I've come from and why I'm in ECE, why leadership for me. Take it back all the way till I was probably about between 10 and 12 years old. My mum has run an ECE centre for a very long time, or a part of running an ECE centre for a really long time. And actually probably since I was about 5, I'm going to say, in Waitara. That's where I'm from Taranaki. And I used to go along with mum and really enjoy spending my school holidays there. And then, I think that's really where my passion sparked and my interest in ECE and children. I've always loved babies and little cousins and family friends. And I think from a very young age, we do know what we're going to be sort of doing. I even feel like with my own daughters, I can see, I'm not going to say what I think they're going to be, but I can see where their passions lie. And it's quite interesting to see that develop from a really young age. And then here I am back in New Zealand, I'll get to that, as a CEO of a beautiful ECE company that are doing great things. So that's pretty cool. And I think it's really important to never forget where you came from. It's important to go back to where you came from, to visit, to reflect, even go back in your thoughts. Remember why you are doing what you're doing. And I just think it's important to never forget that and never feel like your title it makes you above someone, because it's not the case. And I think, we wouldn't be where we are without that starting out. So that's where I started, Waitara Childcare Centre. Shout out. I'm actually going home tomorrow and I'm so excited. I can go and visit on Friday, which will be really cool because they've had a lot going on. So really close to my heart, with mum still working there. So also wanted to talk about, why leadership for me now. So I moved myself to Australia when I was 17, met my partner, moved over there and left uni that I'd started for a few weeks and decided that I would jump straight into ECE over there. I think I had to be very brave and courageous at that time. I just actually 17 when on a holiday, turned 18, moved over there. So very young, just finished year 13. And I decided that I was just going to go and knock on doors. And my partner, Penny, we were very new in a relationship, very young. And he was like, what do you mean you're just going to walk up to these centres and knock on their door and ask for a job? And I was like, don't you think it's better if they see me and know me? And I just think that's where, I've been relational ever since, or even as a child. I think it's really cool to have conversations. And I was always the outgoing, loud child. So that's really taken me places as I've got into being a young adult, and knocked on some doors and got myself a role. And that was pretty cool. It was actually, the role I did land was only a couple of months covering some leave, and then I never left and they kept me, thank God. And then I worked my way up to being a leader quite young at that centre, supporting when somebody went on leave. And then I became a leader. At 21, I was running my own centre, centre director, they call it. Sorry, I keep touching the mic. Centre director over in Australia is the usual name for a centre leader, which is the version over here in New Zealand, and led a team. I think I've spoken about it on a previous podcast, but I was really nervous for them to ask how old I was, because I had this thing in my mind like, I'm going to lose respect, or there'll be, it was just a bit of probably a perception that was untrue, because that was never really the case. my relationships and my understanding of people and getting to know people before I made changes or shook things up on a team, which is definitely needed and a part of leadership, but it was never an issue because I approached it the right way. So that was really cool. Fast forward over 12 years of leading a team in Australia, and then I moved home due to COVID, moved home to New Zealand, really took a chance with that because my qualifications in Australia, unfortunately, they don't mean anything here in New Zealand. So that's really was a risk, and I had lots of people tell me, it won't work, or you won't get a role, or, good luck, you might just be stuck in an admin role. And I was like, yeah, okay, sure, I'll take an admin role, that's fine. And I did. Courtney and Ray took a chance on hiring me, which was really cool. And I was just supporting in a centre with admin on the floor in the kitchen, all sorts of things. And then very quickly, I think it was really important for not just my words in an interview, but my actions actually working in a centre, for them to see who I was, the type of person I was, the leadership capabilities that I had manifested into Terrace Views, which was really cool. So yeah, fast forward to 3 years at Terrace Views, leading a beautiful team, Ray and Court trusting me, this non-qual. I'm doing that because it doesn't really matter. I think we've actually got somebody else stepping into leadership pretty soon, and that's exciting because she's also paving the way for those who don't choose to study, which is actually okay. That might pick back up eventually for this person, but we can do great things, and it's not about a qualification or a title. It's actually just about the person you are and the impact you want to have, because I think impact's a massive thing in leadership. So so my journey home was full of bravery, sharing my knowledge of who I was, and which led me to this role, which is very out of my comfort zone. My comfort zone was the day-to-day, the relational trust with whānau that I got to see every day, the kaiako that I got to lift up, and who lifted my vibe up every day too, which I love, but I now get to do that across the board. So that's really cool. Why leadership for me? I think there are a lot of lessons that we learn from people as we go through our journey, not just in ECE, this isn't any role, but I think if there's something you're really strong in and you really stand for, you've got to put yourself forward and sharing that knowledge and standing up for what's right, and just going for it. Take the chance, take the opportunity and take the risk like I did coming home. Trust that you will do great things, and there's really cool things out there for you, because if you don't trust in yourself, the universe isn't going to help you out. You've got to really just push forward with the things that you want to do. CEO in the word, I really wanted to discuss that because I think I really struggle with titles. At times I really struggle with hierarchy. I struggle when I see people own or have a title in a business that are, a leader, but use that title for their advantage, and it's a negative thing. I think it's really important to remember I am actually just Ashley, kaiako, mum, friend, partner. And at the end of the day, I want to always be approachable. I want our team to want to come to me, to enjoy working alongside me, to ask me to jump on the floor if you need me, for a whānau to come to me and seek advice if they need to as well, because I think that's something that I will always cherish as part of this role, and I never want to lose because I have a certain title. So there's quite a few topics that I've written down on my piece of paper, but I feel like this was just a bit of a solo podcast, start my journey on my own, and I will continue to touch on different leadership aspects and things that really matter to me as I go, because this is the first but not the last podcast on my own. One thing that is really important to me, consistency, daily action, and authenticity. I'd love to dig into them more and further, but I hope that is one thing that I'm really teaching and mentoring and showcasing to our teams. Role modelling, I guess, everyday action. I'm here, I'm approachable, and if you are not within Future Focus and you want to reach out and connect, please do so, because we'd love to work with you. I'd really look forward to more of these podcasts, and thanks for listening. So much.